If I could travel back in time and hand myself at the beginning of my handmade business journey one single thing, it would not be a product to go viral. It wouldn't be a better understanding of formulation or the perfect answer to what is the best packaging. It would be strategy, but not just any strategy. It would truly be a way or a strategy that I could use to stop spinning my wheels, stop feeling like I'm drowning in decisions, but I can't possibly make one. It would be a strategy to help me make decisions with clarity and better understanding for how business really works. So today I am giving you that business strategy that I wish I could go back and give myself. But as I always say, you just don't know what you don't know. And now that I have some ideas, I want to share them with you. Let's go ahead and dive into it. Now, when you first start out in your handmade business, I feel like it is extremely easy to search it up on YouTube, how to get started, or type it into Google, what's the quickest way to make money in my handmade business, right? And I definitely did all of those things. But what I didn't take into consideration is that those ideas or articles or research or people that you're presented with don't always have your best interest or your personal story right in their mind when they're giving you this information. They are giving you a generalized answer based on business, not necessarily based on handmade business or from a small local business perspective or from a passion-based business standpoint. They are more of the buy the thing, sell the product, market, right? And we know that those things don't work for people like us, people that enjoy the slowness of making products by hand, people who enjoy the passion behind creating a beautiful collection, people that don't want to replace their salary with this handmade business. They might not necessarily want a brick and mortar store and all of that responsibility that comes with it. They just want a successful business in a way that feels good to them without taking them out of their family. And that's exactly how I feel. Like I said, I'm not trying to replace my income. I'm not trying to spend every evening and weekend making candles instead of being with my family. But I do have this really great passion for making products, and it is possible to achieve both. But here's what I used to believe and why I thought that this mindset was the wrong one. First, I thought that having a handmade business meant that I always had to create something new. I was always trying to find the next thing. I was always trying to be in front of the trend. I was buying more and more and more just to make something new when my audience hadn't even really understood or valued the products that I had launched and presented to them previously, which is a problem, right? You can't grow a trusting community that really values your products and what you have to offer if you're constantly trying to give them something new. It's like that feeling when you log into your Target app and you have like a drive up and go cart going, right? And all of a sudden they have school supplies listed everywhere and everything's 25 cents, but like it's the first week of July and you're like, whoa, like pump the brakes here. Walk into Hobby Lobby late June and they've cleared out half of the store and have it fully ready and prepared for launching Christmas products. The things just don't make sense, okay? There is no connection there. Business does not mean you have to always be creating something new. The second thing that really got me, and I found myself living my entire life, all of my free time surrounding this idea. And it is that I thought growth meant making more. Like instead of making 6 candles, I'm going to make 24 candles. I'm going to make more variations of my products. The more I work, the more I'm going to sell. The more I post, the more people are going to know about me. And while that's true to a degree, in some cases, that's not the greatest way or a good strategy for growing a sustainable, successful handmade business. What it actually is a shortcut to burnout and feeling like you hate your business and you just want to close the door and throw everything in the trash. And then finally, and arguably the most important notion that I had in my mind when I started my handmade business back in 2021 was I didn't understand the cost of my indecision. I'm a very indecisive person. I go with the flow. I don't like to be making the hard and fast decisions, which probably leads you guys to like, how did you become a business owner? And the short story of that is my daughter and I started making soap one day and we loved it. So we kind of like just ran with it and have been running with it ever since. That's the short version of it, right? But being indecisive as a business owner means that you're going to be constantly pivoting. You're going to be constantly tweaking all of your decisions, second guessing yourself, spiraling, thinking that you're an imposter and there's no possible way that you could be successful, and then you'll never get anywhere. You feel like you're being productive because you're changing your labels every week, but what you're really doing is creating confusion and drowning yourself, right? So these things really need to change. Your business cannot be successful if you believe those things. And I hope if you take anything away from this video, it is that those beliefs are false and they are leaving you stuck in a cycle of burning out and possibly failing in the business altogether. So here is what changed everything for me. And I'm sure that you could go back in my other videos and find me saying different variations of this same thing. I am the type of person that has to go through something multiple times before I start to change it. Like, I kind of feel like, okay, this happened to me once, like that might be a fluke. Like, there's probably nothing wrong. It just like randomly happened for whatever reason. But once it starts happening to you more and more often, you're able to kind of sit back, at least I am, and be like, oh, wow, maybe I should change something. Maybe this is a sign that something is going wrong. So here are just a couple of things that led me to changing the way I was running my handmade business LV collection. First, I stopped chasing trendy products and started building systems to really deepen the value and understanding of my signature products for my customers. A prime example of this is when I went through my card diffuser phase. We've all had it. We don't need to be embarrassed by it. And if you had a phase, please let us know down in the comments below so we can support each other, because we've all been there, whether it was the short bangs in middle school or the bell bottoms, okay, from the earlier years, or like me, you were chasing that viral $10 card diffuser boost, if you will, in sales. Those trends really do not suit us in the long run. It causes us to buy a bunch of supplies that we probably don't need. We likely didn't have anything that we needed before we started that trend. And then depending on how fast you are at production, the trend of it or the virality of it kind of like fizzles out before you can even produce the products and like, get them ready for sale. You kind of have to take a step back, stop chasing those trends, and really start building a system, like an ecosystem or like a group, a collection of signature items that are long running. Okay. First, it was car diffusers. Now it's car coasters. Soon it's going to be car jelly bead, whatever. Okay, those viral products will get you some sales, but in my opinion, it's not going to build long-lasting trust with your audience. A viral audience or a customer base, I guess would be a better way to put it. A customer base chasing a viral product is not loyal to you. They are loyal to the trend. So once the trend goes away, so does their business, right? And that's just not a good way for us to run things. Something else that truly changed everything for me was stopping random launches. I feel like this sounds a little bit silly, but I was so concerned with building success that I was launching everything and anything I could think of. I was launching anything and everything that I could think of. It was just such a weird time. And reflecting back on it, I'm like, dang, I really did that. And I thought it was a great idea. And I thought I was going to become super successful as a result. And it just isn't true. Random launches, again, they don't build trust with your audience. They don't show your customers that you are a consistent product maker. They show customers that if they fall in love with a product, the likeliness of them being able to get it again is slim to none. And you don't want that, especially in the beginning. People have to trust your brand before they buy from it. Then they have to love the product to return to you and kind of build that. So what I did was, instead of having random launches, I really stepped back and started creating collections. Okay. I started planning for an entire collection instead of whatever random stuff I had in my closet. And this has really helped me maintain my focus and attention for an extended period of time. It's really allowed me to create out of passion instead of going through like more of a hustle production mentality. And I think it could do the same for you. Then I went ahead and made sure that my brand story and the experience for my customers matched the value that I wanted to give to them. I'm not creating like a fun and cutesy brand. I love fun and cutesy brands, but it is not me. I'm more based in experience, based in like that moment for yourself when you get home from work at the end of the day. You have been a caretaker for everyone, regardless of your job, regardless if you have a spouse. Everyone is going through something. So what I wanted was to kind of build an experience for women that they could have and it be like their thing, right? It was sacred to them at the end of the day. And again, this really helped push me to create a product collection based off of that. So if you think about it, it's all kind of like parts that come together and drive the same car up the road. All of these little tiny things make one big thing, which eventually lead to the level of success that I am comfortable with, that I want for myself. And finally, I learned to make confident decisions that align with my goals with less input from others, though they are trusted loves, right? In my world, I needed to take a step back from listening to everyone else's input and really learn how to trust myself and be more intentional in my decision making and my goal setting. And that really did make a big difference for me. So, what is that strategy I wish I had to tell myself earlier in my business days? This is it right here. Very simple, 3 steps. First, always clarity. You have to be clear on your offer, who you are, what you stand for, and your customer before you do anything else, or nothing you do is going to work out. Everything's going to feel like you're met with resistance. Everything is going to feel wrong. Your mindset is totally going to change. You're going to become super negative and feel like you're floundering instead of finding your level of success. The second part of the framework is to curate your collection. Really sit back and think about what you want to offer to your customers. Don't just throw something out there. Don't just start posting about random things on social media. Have a plan. Really truly think about the things that you're offering and how they can help the people that you are presenting them to. And finally, create systems that will sell those products. In our business in this video, we talked about how it is so false. It is so unbelievably false that if you create it, they will come, or if you make it, they will come, whatever that sentence is. It's just so false, right? What you have to do is plan out your timing, plan out your messaging, plan your content, all of those things. Figure out a way, right? Get a little system together of how you're going to present this to your customers, an email list, a content plan, whatever the case is. You have to have that. It's the third piece of this simple business strategy framework for a passion-based business. If you start with clarifying your offerings, curating your collection, and creating systems that help you sell your products, you will be in such a better place than those who choose not to put this effort of work into the back end of their business. It is challenging when you feel like you need to make everything to take a step back and really sit and really think and map things out. Trust me, I am fully aware that is the most challenging part of running this business. There are so many things to do, and we're pulled in so many different directions. We can't hire help. That's not in the cards for us. But if you start from this place of building off of a strategy, it will be so much more clear to you, and then in turn, your customer base. So Here's what I would recommend. And I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just truly am trying to help people that have felt like me and felt like quitting because it just never felt like you were doing anything right. I have two really great resources, and it's actually not two resources, it's two different groups of resources that can help you kind of figure out what you're doing, help you find clarity, help you decide your collections, etc. And then later in the fall, I have something absolutely amazing planned, but I don't want to talk about it right now. I don't want to jinx it. It's going really well, so I don't want to jinx it. But so the first thing that I would recommend is checking out my resource called Brainflow. So, of the two resources, the one that I think would be a better fit is called Brandflow. Brandflow is a drive, like a Google Drive of resources that can help you find your clarity, curate your collection, and create your systems that sell, right? Our 3-point framework that we discussed earlier in the video. Essentially, this group of resources helps you figure out all of the back end of your business using ChatGPT, which I know might sound weird, but just trust me when I tell you, using AI or something like ChatGPT is a great way to take that stress off of yourself, help you make decisions quickly, help you make decisions with intention, help you figure out what your goals actually are, and take that weight of making product descriptions or trying to fill out a content calendar. It takes all of that weight off of your shoulders. Because if you're here on my channel, I'm going to assume that this is a side hustle for you and you want to grow it slowly. So hiring an employee or employees or virtual assistants, etc., is not an option for you. So what you can do is use this brand flow resource repeatedly over and over and over again to help you build that strategy of using AI in your business, right? It takes the place of having to hire someone and it helps you with your decision making based on actual evidence. Us passion based business owners don't always make the best decisions because we want to go what's feeling good in our heart. But we know a successful business runs off of analytics, not necessarily feelings. So, ChatGPT and AI is a really great way for you to kind of figure it out for yourself without taking your heart out of the decision completely. I would recommend checking out Brandflow. There are 6 folders within Brandflow hosted on the Google Drive, and it has decision making dashboards, right? Tools that will help you validate ideas that you may have or help you make decisions for your business. There are weekly content planners. There are different styles depending on what style you like. There's a prompt library. So it's like a set of things that you can type into ChatGPT, and then it will give you back information that you can use and apply to your business. There are like messaging kits for when you launch new products. And some bonuses as well, like how to make captions using ChatGPT or how to plan like your seasonal collections, what to do when you have ideas, right? So, really great set of resources, far exceeding the price that you pay for it. And that's linked down in the description box below. Please, if you would, if you've made it this far, please know you are not alone. I am here. I am in the weeds with you. I love making products, but I just have to do it in a more sustainable way in order to find the success that I'm looking for. And this is a great place for you to find the same. So, with that, I hope that you'll subscribe to the channel. And if there's something on your mind or weighing on your heart that you want to discuss, feel free to email me, sarah@formulatewithlv.com, and check out this brand flow resource in the description. Okay. All right. I'll see you next week. Bye.